human mind works in a very treacherous way. We believe we know ourselves until we meet someone who knows us better than we know ourselves and manages to manipulate us so easily that we even believe we enjoy the pain. The human mind seeks relief, but in order to find relief, it must first encounter pain. However, it becomes trapped in a labyrinth. I call it intoxication. I will briefly speak about a hypothetical scenario that I will use as an example. Many people like to call themselves victim. I will not refer to them as victim because I think it is somewhat offensive. I will refer to them as rat because their behavior is similar to a rat in a maze. I will not refer to the narcissist as perpetrator, but as the character. Everything always begins with a story that seems perfect. The rat meets a new person who appears charming. She believes she has won the lottery, and that is exactly what the character wants for a while. He seems to be the ideal man. The rat's dopamine rises to the sky. She feels that she has never felt so much happiness before, but shortly after, the first obstacle appears. Sometimes it is another woman who contacts her to warn her about what the character does with all of them. At first, this causes conflict with the character, but the rat's brain rearranges things in such a way that it justifies not leaving him. The rat thinks that woman is just a wounded shadow. The rat wants to believe that now she is the important one. Even the fact that another woman spoke to her benefits the character greatly. Her unconscious tells her if there are other women obsessed with the character, then he must have something valuable. Her brain tells her, do not lose him. And here, the intoxication is reinforced. As the intoxication grows, the character begins to test the rat. Little by little, he places other people between them. He finds foolish reasons to separate temporarily. He analyzes everything. He measures the time it takes for her to return. He observes the doors she leaves open. People call it macabre. This is intoxication. But the rat believes it is love because there are people who do not like stability. They like variable reward. The rat does not develop dependency on the character. She develops dependency on the relief he gives her. I call it macabre art. There is a painful truth that no rat wants to recognize. No one managed to leave this addiction by their own willpower. It always happens because the character becomes bored of her. Many times he finds someone else shortly after, sometimes even before leaving his previous rat. At first, the rat believes this is just another one of their breakups, just another person who interfered between them. She will think she is still the most important rat. She will think the character will feast on his new rat and then return to her again. At this moment, her dignity is no longer her priority. Normally, infidelity should not be forgiven. But here we are not talking about normality. She keeps waiting for him. She leaves a door open, a chat unblocked, pretending she forgot to block him. But little by little she will begin to realize that he has no intention of returning. That moment is slow and devastating. It is a mixture of hope that has not yet died and anguish that does not let her sleep at night. She will tell her friends that she was the one who got bored of him and left. But behind that calm speech, her soul cries. The rat will talk about the character to all her friends. She will start the conversation, making it seem casual, as if his name came up unintentionally, hoping that her friend asks about it. So she has an excuse to speak. She will speak badly of him. Sometimes she will say she no longer remembers him. Other times she will say she is close to completely getting over him. She will recount all the things he did to her, making him look horrible, but her heart will race and her vagina will throb while she says all that. She will say she no longer checks his social media, that she knows nothing about him. But then She will reveal all the information, as if she knew everything. At first, her friends will support her, but when they realize she keeps walking in circles, mentioning the character again and again like a zombie, her friends will grow tired and drift away. She will lose good friendships because of it. The intoxicated person will see the situation as being attacked with a stick, and that metaphor is very good, but the other metaphor she refuses to see is this. The character hit her with a stick and left it lying near her, and the rat picked it up and is now hitting herself with that same stick. The human mind tends to create an echo of traumatic events. Even when the perpetrator has already left her alone, her addiction makes her continue hurting herself. The rat. The rat will lose. Enter a small and temporary rise in mood. She will want to try to rebuild her romantic life. She will begin to see possibilities, but what she does not know is that this is self-deception created by her own mind. After that small rise in mood, her wounded ego will resurface. She will not be able to tolerate having been left so many times. She will feel foolish and say that no one will ever do this to her again. Her brain will need to confirm it. She will begin to look for new partner options. She will tell her friends that this time she will pay attention to all the red flags. She will say that if she sees her new partner doing things that do not give her confidence, she will leave him. That is exactly what her brain is looking for. She could never have left the character. But now she wants to prove to herself that she is strong and capable of leaving someone who does not respect her. She will have new suitors, and almost from the beginning she will find red flags, foolish things, nothing compared to what the character used to do. But that will be enough for her mind to interpret it as a red flag. That is exactly what her mind needs, a small obstacle, something easy. She will get a new person. Her conscious mind will think she is happy, that she is rebuilding her life with someone better. But that is a cruel trap of her subconscious mind. Soon she will believe she is searching for red flags in the new person, things that are not reasons to leave that person, but her subconscious has already programmed her and given her the task of leaving someone in order to prove that she has grown. The rat will lose many years of her life rebuilding herself. She will believe that the character is the only man she ever truly loved. Perhaps she'll never be the same again. With this, we neither glorify nor condemn narcissism. We simply present a hypothetical example of what might have happened to someone.